3 a.m. I just touched down. Wanna call me to buzz down. It's love over lust now. I don't know who to trust now. Tell me who can I trust now? Hey. Yeah. It's 3 a.m. I just touched down. Wanna call me to buzz down. It's love over lust now. I don't know who to trust now. Yeah. Who can I trust now? Hey. Lately I've been on the go. Was home away from home, inner teed up on my own. Load up the beat, bitch, I'm in my zone. I feel alive today. Don't fuck up my vibe today. Don't come at me stirring my pot. You might get erased from the plot. End up on the plot of them grass blades. They be throwing me mad shade. All this ducking and dodging, your offs in the wavelengths. But you negative headspace. That version of me that you thought that you knew had been newly updated. I'm activated. Whatever they on, oversaturated. I'm the cure, my intention is pure. My life been a blur, yes sir. Yeah. I've been stitching my wounds and flipping my tunes and versing my curses. I wrote it in braille, never stale. I spoke it in cursive. I'm not from where earth is. The features ethereal, the ancestors surging through veins. I've been curving and purging all person in places and things that don't serve me. My hands on the cloud, my feet where the surface, that's perfect. On God, bitch, yeah, I'm activated. Control, burning down trees, big shot on my ashtrays. Never empty, I'm litty. I've been playing the city. Yeah. Still playing the city. It's 3 a.m. I just touched down. Wanna call me to buzz down. It's love over lust now. I don't know who to trust now. Tell me who can I trust now? Hey. Yeah. It's 3 a.m. I just touched down. Wanna call me to buzz down. It's love over lust now. I don't know who to trust now. Yeah. Who can I trust now? I've been playing the city. It's 3 a.m. I just touched down. Wanna call me to buzz down.
Yo, I should say ho. You know what I'm saying? What's good with y'all? It's your boy Robb coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the room. All right. It's good to see each and every one of y'all. I hope y'all having a good holiday. Enjoy your holiday. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the time with your family. Have some fun. Kick it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been doing that between throwing some content together for y'all. So I hope y'all having a good time. All right. If you guys can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up or radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me, then give me a thumbs down. I'm going to shout out everybody that's in the building early. We got Brooklyn Queen in the house. We got Patricia Slade in here, B1. We got Lloyd Sky 9 in the building. Shout out to my man, James Hudson. What's good with it, bro? We got Deneen Soul. Shout out to you, Deneen. Good to see you as always. We got Black Free Thinker. Shout out to my man, Black Free Thinker. He prefers villainy to the NFL. If y'all prefer villainy to the NFL, throw the membership emojis in the chat. We got Corey Green in the house. Shout out to my man, Corey. We got Ryan Glenn in the building, and we got DSB. It's good to see y'all, all right? So y'all know what we about to do. Shout out to YGLTB1. What's good with it, bro? B1 to you, bro, and happy holiday. We are about to talk about the laws, all right? The lawmakers, law enforcement, judges, all of these clowns. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. What's good with it, bro? All of these clowns that call themselves running this quote-unquote society, which if you ask me, this is unsociety, but whatever. So what we got here is an off-duty San Antonio police officer who shoves a man. Now, mind you, this dude that he shoved was old as hell. This dude named Officer Robert Pompa Jr. He got suspended for 3 days for conduct and a behavior violation. And they didn't arrest anybody, right? He should have got arrested if you ask me. He pushed a 66-year-old and got lit up. Now, mind you, the 66-year-old didn't have no form or nothing like that. It was funny as hell. But he lit this police officer up, and it was hilarious. So we finna check this out real quick. Let me see. We're going to make the video quality a little bit better for y'all. We're gonna put this playback speed. Playback speed will be all right. So I put the video to where the incident starts. Now, if you guys look, can you guys see the guy that's sitting down? He's got his legs crossed, and it looks like he's got on like a red baseball cap. Can y'all see him? If y'all can see him, give me a thumbs up. If y'all can't see him, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Sybil. What's good with it, Sybil? Watch this. So as you guys can see, now see the guy that just walked in that's pointing, that's the police officer. He walks in. Now, I don't know what happened. Old boy was just sitting in the corner, right? See, we're gonna bring it back a little bit. He just sitting in the corner. Now, when the police officer comes in, watch this. Shout out to Jesse Perry. Pears, what's good with it, bro? Watch this. Here it goes. It's about to get lit. That old man did the Super Mario Brother punch. Did y'all see that old man do that Super Mario Brother punch? Oh man.
You got knocked the fuck out, man.
What kind of shit was that? Oh man, what kind of shit was that?
What kind of shit is that?
Look at this again. Look at this again. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. What's good with it, bro? Oh man. So then look, right? So after all this, he don't stop neither. Look. He hit him with the double fist. Oh man, look. Oh man. The big girl got up and left. I don't know what kind of card that was, if that was his ID or what, but he took the ID. Shout out to Carlton Wait. What's good with it, bro? Man, that's hilarious. Oh man. So I don't know what caused this. I don't know what happened. But you can't be a police officer out here off duty acting like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me see if it's any more. If it's any more to altercation. Yeah, I don't think it's anything else after that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see. All right, let's go. So he picks up that card. I don't know who this dude called. Old man chased him out the store or wherever this was. And then that's it. Shout out to Grind and Motivate. What's good with it, bro? Hey, shout out to Torian. What's good with you, bro? Hey, we need Grind and Motivate's expert opinion on this. We need the expert opinion on these double punches real quick before we get into the article. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Man, that was so funny, man. How would you rate this, Grind? You see the Super Mario Brothers punch? Look at this. Look at this. You ready? Here you go, right here. What would you rate this punch? Oh man, that dude said. Man, how you gonna be a cop and get handled by an old man like that? Oh man, shout out to Grind and Motivate. Since he's old, I'll give him a 4 for effort. Facts. Oh man, that's terrible, man. So this is what happened right here. A San Antonio police officer has been suspended 3 days. What he should be suspended for is getting his ass whooped by a senior citizen. That's what the suspension should be for. After starting the fight, a San Antonio police officer has been suspended 3 days after surveillance footage showed him shove a man inside a North Side dental office before repeatedly getting punched by the 66-year-old. So he was at a dental office about to get his front row taken out. You at the dentist about to get your teeth knocked out. Man, that's crazy. Officer Robert Pompa Jr., a 6-year veteran of San Antonio Police Department, served the suspension in mid-November after an internal affairs investigation determined that he violated rules covering conduct and behavior. You think? Pompa also shoved his credentials into the man's forehead, according to the video, which, I mean, we saw that. Now, here go my question. How do you not get fired? Because the thing is that if you're out here when you're not wearing your badge, acting like this in public, what's to say that you not gonna act like that when you are wearing your badge? He probably already has acted like that while he is wearing his badge. You know what I'm saying? KSAT obtained the approximately 8-minute video through an open records request. The footage was recorded inside of an office in the 7900 block of Fredericksburg Road on May 25th. It shows an off-duty Pompa pull on the locked entrance door while the man is seated inside just a few feet away. The 66-year-old man declines to get up and open the door and at one point appears to tap on the window near the entrance. An employee of the dental office eventually walks up and opens the door from inside, allowing Pompa and 3 other people to enter. The footage, which does not contain audio, shows Pompa speak to the man briefly as he walks by before stopping and speaking to the man again while Pompa points away from him. The man, who had remained seated, gets up and approaches Pompa as both men gesture with their hands. After the 2 men get face to face, Pompa delivers a 2-handed shove to the man, sending him backward several feet. That's when he did the moonwalk. Did y'all see when he did the moonwalk? He did the moonwalk and looked like he was swimming backwards, and then he powered up and then came back with that flying fist. The man gathers his balance and then takes several steps towards Pompa before swinging at his face with a closed fist, the footage shows. The man strikes Pompa in the face several times with his hand as Pompa appears to try and hold him back near the bottom of the screen. So you see he got them fists raised up. He got that old arthritic fist raised up, about to go ham on Pompa's jaw. You know what I'm saying? At one point during the skirmish, Pompa's sunglasses fly off and the hat he is wearing backwards. So, I mean, they really clowning him in this article. At one point during the skirmish, Pompa's sunglasses fly off, the hat that he is wearing backwards. So he knocked him Oakleys off his face. The footage showed the 2 men get face to face again when Pompa pulls out his police credentials and places them against the man's face. The man again swings at Pompa and strikes the off-duty officer in the head several more times, the footage shows. Man, what kind of police officer are you if you out here, for one, starting crap with senior citizens and then getting beat down by senior citizens? Yo, bro, that's facts. You ain't never lied about that. If y'all agree with win, lose, or rug, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Old man strength is real. Yo, that's facts. That old man strength, bro, that's real. That's why nobody wanted to get a whooping from their grandparents, because they knew that their grandfather would beat that ass. You know what I'm saying? Pompa then makes a call on his cell phone before briefly exiting the office. The other man eventually appears back on screen, also while on his cell phone. An SAPD incident report, which incorrectly has the men's name swapped, states that Pompa was punched 3 times with a closed fist and had a slightly swollen upper lip when the officers arrived. Man, he swole that officer. This officer got swole by grandpa. He got swole up by grandpa. The other man, who KSAT is not naming because he has not been charged in the incident, had a small cut on his right eyebrow, the report states. SAPD officials confirmed that no arrests were made in the case. Now, that police officer should have got arrested for putting his credentials on that old man's forehead. If you ask me, that's what should have happened. You don't get to just go around putting your credentials in people's face and then they respond to it and you sit up there acting like the victim. But that's the kind of stuff that they do. They literally allow police officers to just get away with anything. And then when something bad happens to them, they're the victims. You know what I'm saying? So here goes something else that the police did. And I put this article in the Discord, so some people might have read this and some people may not have. This man right here, his name is Glenn Simmons. A U.S. judge exonerated him after 48 years in prison. Now, what's the catch to this? What's the catch to this? Here's the catch to it. An Oklahoma judge has exonerated a man who spent 48 years in prison for a murder he didn't commit, the longest known wrongful sentence in the U.S. Now, here's my question to you guys. How many of y'all will be able to get over something like that? I wouldn't be able to get over something like that. The best thing that they could possibly do is leave me in jail because I'm coming for somebody. "48 years in prison for a murder he did not commit." How do you make a mistake like that? Or here's the better question. Was it actually a mistake? That's the actual question. Was this actually a mistake? If you ask me, as often as this happens, that is proof that these kind of situations are not a mistake. Yeah, facts. Super facts, Lloyd. Super facts. Glenn Simmons, who is 70, was freed in July after a district court found that crucial evidence in his case was not turned over to his defense lawyers. So now here go the question, right? If this evidence was not turned over to his defense lawyers, why are the people who didn't turn over the evidence not in trouble? You guys see that? Glenn Simmons, who is 70, was freed in July after a district court found that crucial evidence in his case was not turned over to his defense lawyers. On Monday, a county district attorney said that there was not enough evidence to warrant a new trial. In an order on Tuesday, Judge Amy Palumbo declared Mr. Simmons innocent. Does it matter at that point? After you've spent 48 years of your life rotting away in jail, after being prosecuted by a jury not of your peers and a judge who's not your peer of a crime that you didn't commit, is it worth it? That's the question. This court finds by clear and convincing evidence that the offense for which Mr. Simmons was convicted, sentenced, and imprisoned was not committed by Mr. Simmons, said Oklahoma County District Judge Palumbo in her ruling. Now, here's the question: who pays for that? Who pays for that? And then, let me guess, Mr. Simmons is just supposed to be grateful that he was finally released? We're just supposed to be, you're just supposed to be grateful that you were finally released. Shout out to Torian on his last live stream that he did. He was talking about an individual that was released from prison after being wrongly sentenced. And my thing that I got to ask people is, so after this stuff happens, you're just supposed to thank the same system that destroyed your life? The last person that they would want to put a microphone in front of if some shit like this ever happened to me will be me. The last person they want to put a microphone in front of. It's a lesson in now listen to what he says. It's a lesson in resilience and tenacity, Mr. Simmons told reporters after the decision, according to the Associated Press. Don't let nobody tell you that it can't happen, because it really can. What? Don't let nobody tell you that what can't happen, because what really can. Mr. Simmons served 48 years, 1 month and 18 days in prison for the 1974 murder of Carolyn Sue Rogers during a liquor store robbery in an Oklahoma City suburb. He was 22 years old when he and a co-defendant, Don Roberts, were convicted and sentenced to death in 1975. The punishments were later reduced to life in prison because of U.S. Supreme Court rulings on the death penalty. Now, imagine this. What if he had got convicted and ended up getting the death penalty? What if he had got that death penalty? How many people have gotten the death penalty and they're not even looking into their old cases that are actually innocent? Mr. Simmons had maintained his innocence, saying he was in his home state of Louisiana at the time of the murder. Mr. Simmons smiled as the court declared his innocence on Tuesday. Dressed in a gray hooded sweater and fedora, a soft-spoken Mr. Simmons later told reporters that he had been waiting for this moment a long, long time. So let's see what he had to say. Probably going to be a little bit of commercials or ads or something. Yeah.
When I served.
So real quick, while we waiting on these ads, if y'all would please take a moment, smash the like button if you haven't smashed the like button. Also hit the bell if you're not subscribed to the channel, and please share the stream to your social media. That would be great.
Glenn is one of the most gracious people that I've had the privilege of knowing, and he just walks around with this glow on his face. He can't believe that after that long in prison he's free. But it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Wow.
When the judge ordered that the shackles be removed from his hands.
How has he been trying to get his life back on track? What's that been like for him?
He has been gracious. He is giving back to the community. We all thought he would probably decide to go back to Louisiana, his hometown, and he's decided instead to stay in Oklahoma.
Man, you see, this is what I'm saying. This don't make no damn sense. This doesn't make any sense. Like, you don't, man, listen. I'm going to let y'all hear that again.
What's that been like for him?
He has been gracious. He is giving back to the community. We all thought he would probably decide to go back to Louisiana, his hometown, and he's decided instead to stay in Oklahoma and to make a difference in this community. He is speaking to other groups of people about his wrongful incarceration and really wants to contribute to the criminal justice movement.
He'll get financial compensation of only $175,000.
He's only getting he spent 48 years in jail and he's only getting $175,000, man.
He'll get financial compensation of only $175,000 from the state. But then we are planning now to file a federal lawsuit on his behalf against the jurisdictions and the police departments that locked him up in the first place. And for that, we hope to get enough money to really make Glenn to be able to live comfortably in the last years of his life.
They laugh at this when they do this because they understand that they have society set up to where they could do this to any one of us at any moment without any kind of repercussion. This is a joke to them. I want to make sure that people understand that this is humor. This is comedy. So now here it says, what's done can't be undone, but there can be accountability, he said. Asked to describe his emotional state, his lawyers, Joseph Norwood, told BBC News, obviously elation. I wouldn't be happy. I would not be happy. I would not be elated. Right. Big facts. Big facts, Torian. Torian said 175K was great for the time when this occurred, but in 2023, that's nothing. Facts. The thought of being confined in prison for 50 years for something you had nothing to do with has to be just one of the worst things for a person's mental state. Mr. Norwood said in an interview on Thursday. That's the whole point of them doing this. Now, the thing is that let me ask you guys this question. With the narratives and the propaganda that are pushed by all non-FBA groups of people against FBA people, it makes it easy for society to do this. And the fact that it's difficult for us to be able to put together resources to be able to fight against this kind of stuff, they notice, which is why these people are constantly moving on us. We need to have a jurisdiction where we accidentally lock up some people that had a future. And then we say, oops, here goes $2. Go get yourself some gum out of the vending machine after 75 years of being incarcerated. I guarantee you, we start locking people up and doing that kind of stuff to them, stuff will stop immediately. I would have looked them dead in their eyes at that hearing and said, you've messed up now. The best thing that you could do for society is keep me in prison. You shouldn't even told me about this. You should have just continued to try to convince me that I actually did something. Because see, now I've paid a debt. I've already paid up for a murder. I've already paid up for a murder and I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already took your debt out of my life for a murder and I didn't get it. You know what that means? We got to even the scale. We got to even the scale. There's not going to be no phony I'm gracious or anything like that. Y'all better get some double locks on your doors. And make sure your insurance policies are paid up. That's what you'll be facing if you let me out after 48 years. And I've been telling you I didn't do something. You're not going to get away with that untouched. I'm not going to be gracious to the system that did this to me for when they got bored actually doing their job and researching and seeing that they did something wrong. The hell out of here with that BS. I already paid up for a murder. Something gonna happen. Just take and take and take. It's ridiculous. So now here it says, but Mr. Simmons was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer as he was being released, says the attorney. So it was a mix of elation, gaining his freedom, gaining his name back, clearing his name, said Mr. Norwood, adding that Mr. Simmons was now responding well to chemotherapy and was on the mend. Now, here's the thing, right? They can sit here and talk about this cancer as much as they want to, but had he not rotted in prison for 48 years, he'd have enjoyed the part of his life where he was healthy. Everybody gets old and starts to have health issues. Everybody starts to have health issues. You know what I'm saying? So it's to be expected that after spending 48 freaking years of your life in prison, you're going to have health issues. And he wasn't able to get the treatment. I hope they are, Tori. In fact, shout out to Tori. And Tori said they probably listening to this right now saying we better not try to go after this guy. And if we should, just let him rot in case. Either let me rot or make sure I don't make it to prison. Make sure I don't make it to trial like they do every other innocent black man. One of the two. And I got if you guys agree with Win, Lose, or Rug, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Win, Lose, or Rug said he could have seen better doctors, not the ones in prison. Facts. This is the state's fault. Absolutely. And they only giving him what they say, $175,000? Man, that's crazy, man. Mr. Simmons is currently battling liver cancer, which is a really bad form of cancer. That's really bad. According to his GoFundMe, which has raised almost $200,000 to help support his living costs and medical treatment. A district court vacated his sentence in July after finding that prosecutors, look at this, a district court vacated his sentence in July after finding that prosecutors had not turned over all evidence to defense lawyers, including that a witness had identified other suspects. Now, don't you all feel that these prosecutors that didn't turn over the evidence to the defense lawyers, something needs to happen to them? Why do you get to destroy somebody's life and walk away scot-free when the person that you put in jail is in jail for allegedly destroying somebody's life? They need to serve that 48 years. Or one of their children needs to serve that 48 years. Or their wife, or somebody that they love. You're going to take 48 years away from somebody that didn't do anything and didn't ride away into the sunset? I don't think so. I don't think so. Crazy level of injustice. But remember, this don't happen. This is all in our minds. We're making it up. This is woke. Mr. Simmons and Mr. Roberts were convicted in part because of a testimony from a teenager who had been shot in the back of the head. The teenager pointed to several other men during the police lineups and later contradicted some of her own testimony, the National Registry of Exonerations said. Mr. Roberts was released on parole in 2008. Wrongfully convicted people who serve time in Oklahoma are eligible for up to $175,000 in compensation. Nah, B. what they need to be eligible for is 175,000 needs to be the base, and all of the years that they spent in prison wrongfully convicted, they need to tack on an extra $300,000 per each year. So it should be 175,000 plus 300,000 times 48 at the very least. Shout out to True Essence 87 and shout out to Dora Malahi. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Dora Malahi. Now, if you guys are part of the Discord, you probably saw that story in the Discord. I wasn't going to do a live stream about it, but there's too many of those stories that happen, and then the rest of the people, the dominant society, get to sit around and act like this stuff doesn't happen. So we got to talk about them stories as much as possible. Because if we're going to talk about one form of disproportion, we need to be talking about all forms of disproportion. Because I guarantee you that there's a statistic that shows that black men get disproportionately wrongfully imprisoned more so than other groups of people. But yet we're going to sit out here and act like there's not propaganda from a bunch of different sources attacking black men to desensitize the public and the law enforcement system to try to do this kind of stuff to us. And the problem is that people need to create means to punish people. People need to create means of retaliation. If people do not do that, then this kind of stuff is going to continue to happen. So now we're talking about the situation with Elijah McClain. Now, I find it interesting. Don't all these guys have the Derek Chauvin face and the Derek Chauvin haircut? Something about this haircut, huh? You get this must be the I have a kill a black man fantasy haircut. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what happened here. They took this to jury. Now, these are the paramedics. An Adams County jury now has to decide whether the decision by 2 Aurora paramedics to inject Elijah McClain with ketamine in 2019 was a tragic mistake or a crime. Well, we already know this is an old article, right? This article here came out on December 20th of 2023. Now, we'll be also reading the updated article that talks about what happened with them as far as their sentencing goes. But I want to ask you guys a question. The question that I want to ask you guys is, was the injection of ketamine a quote-unquote tragic mistake or a crime? This is a silly question to ask, if you ask me. Well, this is a question that shouldn't even have to be asked. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Yeah, I got to agree with you guys. It was a crime. It was definitely a crime. It wasn't Elijah McClain tripped and fell and landed on a syringe full of ketamine. That's not what happened. Now, there's specific laws and there's specific guidelines and parameters that people use when administering ketamine, when dosing ketamine. Most of the time, well, actually all of the time when ketamine is administered, it's administered with a doctor's order. So why would you just come on the scene and give somebody ketamine and you hadn't done anything that's required? That's the question. Prosecutors from the Colorado Attorney General's office and the paramedics defense attorneys presented their closing arguments to the jurors Wednesday afternoon. The 12-member jury will begin deliberating Thursday. Aurora Fire Rescue paramedics Jeremy Cooper and then Lieutenant Peter Chihunik are accused of choosing to administer a 500 milligram dose of sedative ketamine to McClain, a dose too large for his weight, according to the fire department's protocols at the time. Following a struggle with police officers without speaking to McClain or physically examining him, instead only relying on officers' account of his behavior and guessing his weight. This is literally, I'm white and I say so. This is literal, I'm white and I say so. We're going to listen to the white guys about what the black guy is doing, and we're going to do what we want to because we're not expecting to get any type of repercussion or punishment. Literal, I'm white and I say so. We're not going to follow the orders that are in place at the place that we work at. We're just going to do what we want to do because we can, and because we're being told this by other clowns that had the same haircut and are wearing the same uniform. You guys remember the uniform? I would go on as far as to say as these haircuts are part of the uniform. Okay. Now, let me ask you this question. If you were a doctor, a nurse, or an anesthesiologist, and you gave somebody too much medication and you didn't follow the medication administration or the facility that you work at's protocols, and you went outside of those guidelines and gave somebody medicine, a chemical, some food, or something, and it led to their death, would you not lose your license and more than likely be charged of negligent homicide? That's my question. If a nurse or a doctor did this and gave some medication to a patient and it was found that they didn't follow protocol and the patient died as a result of the administration, they're going to jail. Negligent homicide. They better have their liability insurance intact. But now here, we're asking the question, was it an accident? How was it an accident when you pulled it out of a syringe, you pulled out a vial of ketamine, chose not to read the label, chose not to read the protocol, and just injected it? That's negligence at the very least. But we have to ask this question for the Denver Gazette, because surely the perfect people couldn't have possibly done something wrong. Which is why these EMT rejects listened to the degenerate police officers, because it was two white guys listening to other white people about a black person that they wanted to kill, which is always how it's been here in the United States. And now you got people like Alvin Bragg helping make that possible. So now here it says they knew nothing, they learned nothing, they asked no questions. They didn't care, said Solicitor General Shannon Stevenson. Prosecutors argue the fire medics know about the risk of ketamine side effects, including potential respiratory arrest, and failed to monitor McClain's vital signs before or after Cooper made the injection. McClain went into cardiac arrest and stopped breathing within a few minutes of receiving the ketamine. He died in a hospital a few days later. The paramedics said they believed McClain was suffering from quote-unquote excited delirium when they arrived. Now, how many people know about excited delirium? For the people that have been around for a long time, y'all know all about excited delirium because I talked about it all the time. What is excited delirium? That's my question for you guys. Who knows what excited delirium is? If you know what excited delirium is, leave it in the comment section what it is. Excited delirium is extremely important to understand what it is. The paramedics said that they believed McClain was suffering from excited delirium when they arrived. A controversial diagnosis typically described as an onset of symptoms such as extreme aggression, strength, resistance to pain, and paranoia. No, this is also called an adrenaline rush. And it's an adrenaline rush that occurs because uniformed police officers are abusing the law. And it's a fight or flight response. Facts. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. If you guys agree with Win, Lose, or Rug, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Excited delirium is the excuse to handle us with deadly force. It's also an excuse that's used to delete people. It's a license to kill, abused by the police department. Now, the American Medical Association does not even acknowledge excitable delirium as a legitimate medical diagnosis. There's only one group of doctors that believes that excitable delirium is a real thing. And take a wild guess who excitable delirium disproportionately affects. So now here it says Chikunik testified that he decided McClain should get a 500 milligram dose, the maximum allowed at the time without a doctor's approval, because the medic didn't want to risk under medicating him. That's not a good enough excuse. As a medic, his responsibility is to maintain the safety of the person that he's caring for, which means that he should have titrated the dose up instead of starting out at the highest. Let me ask y'all this. How many people take medication and they take it on a long-term therapeutic basis? Does the doctor ever start out with the highest dose and then go down? Or do they start out with a lower dose and go up? Where in the hell does anybody ever start out with the maximum dose and then decrease it? Where does that happen at? Somebody show me a situation or a hospital where that's been done and what kind of medication that's been done with. Even people that are trying to quit smoking, if you take that Nicorette gum or those nicotine gum tablets, those start out at a low dose and then increase and then go back lower. You never start out with the highest possible dose, ever. Unless it's a weight-based drug and you outweigh the highest of the weight requirements for calculating that dose. That's the only time. Any other time, that's not how that works. So now, look, I want you guys to pay attention. Chikunik testified that he decided McClain should get a 500 milligram dose. What made him think that he was qualified to make that decision? You're not qualified, dude. You're an EMT. You're qualified to drive an ambulance and do vital signs and put a defibrillator on somebody. That's it. Shout out to JD Informant. What makes him qualified that somebody should get a 500 milligram dose? Well, I just felt like it. Well, now understand that you're going to be feeling like doing some jail time. The maximum allowed at the time without a doctor's approval, because the medic didn't want to risk under medicating him. That under medication is never, you don't start out with the highest dose to worry about under medicating somebody. Let me ask you guys something. If somebody is diabetic and you find out that they got a high blood sugar, do you deal with that by giving an entire vial of insulin, or do you utilize the protocols that says what kind of amounts of insulin you need to give to get the blood sugar back into regulation? Which one do you do? Exactly. Shout out to Patricia. Patricia says, no, a doctor will medicate you by your weight. I've been on medication for years. They will go up if they see it's not working. Facts. And if they go up, and then if they start to see that you're having some side effects, or some effects of being over medicated, then they'll do what's called titration, and they'll titrate it back down. This right here is none of this is part of the protocol. This is all nonsense that this clown made up because he's a clown. At the time of the incident, Aurora paramedics were trained that excited delirium could lead to death because of acid buildup in a person's body from exertion, and ketamine was the only drug available to treat the condition. Now, the Aurora paramedics needs to be sued because, for one, they're teaching their paramedics based on junk science. Excitable delirium is not a legitimate medical diagnosis. And excitable delirium never caused death. A diagnosis that's not real cannot cause death. The symptoms of excitable delirium do not cause death. Now, when they talk about this acid buildup, what they're talking about is metabolic acidosis. And the reason why the metabolic acidosis happens is because of hyperventilation and chemical changes in hormones that are released from your body. However, these don't cause death. What caused death is the police intervention, when they choking people out or when they're over medicating you with medications that can cause cardiac arrest. That's what causes death. Excitable delirium is a blanket term to call an adrenaline rush during an arrest a disease process, to make it where it seems like they're allowed to do something to curtail the disease process, which could end in you dying, and then they'll have an out to say that we didn't kill this person. That's what this is. It's a license to kill. Facts. Shout out to Carlton Way. Excitable delirium is WS science. Facts. You can look all of this up. Also, if you look at some of the playlists, I have a playlist on here called Police. Plenty of times on the police playlist, we've talked about this. So now here it says defense attorneys argued that they were able to visually assess McClain's vital signs. How do you visually assess somebody's vital signs? How do you do that? The only vital sign that you can visibly assess is respirations. That's the only one. Let me ask you guys this question. If there's anybody near you, look at them. Can you tell me what their blood pressure is? Can you tell me what their pulse is? Can you tell me what their temperature is by looking at somebody? Again, undeniable, undisputable. I'm white and I say so. Now, you can look at a patient to see their condition. You can look at a patient to see, oh, are they becoming hypoxic? Are they turning blue? They could possibly be bleeding. Are they turning pallorous? But you can't get vital signs, which are numbers, from looking at somebody. The only one that you can get is respirations. That's it. So now if we know that you can't get vital signs from looking at somebody, then how did the Colorado EMTs do that? The defense attorneys argued that they were able to visibly assess McClain's vital signs. How do you do that? Why was this even allowed to be said in court? This is some of the stupidest shit in the world. And even if you could assess vital signs visibly, the EMTs and their ambulance have the instruments to accurately assess vital signs. So why would they not do that? You're always supposed to use the most accurate method of assessment. Facts. Shout out to Black Spider. Watch them good old boys, them good old tough boys cry like little bitches when they get locked up. Facts. They deleted somebody's son who was an innocent little kid that all he did was play the piano and played the violin and was a massage therapist. And white America thinks that this is funny. Coons think that this is funny. And they think that it's funny because in order to deal with this kind of situation, the most that we can do as of right now is make social media posts about it. Yeah. Shout out to Torian. Didn't Greg Foreman laugh at this? Yeah. Yep. I want you guys to understand, these people think that the death of your children is funny. It's humor. It's hilarious. While at the same time laughing at your children dying, you're supposed to fall out like you caught the Holy Spirit if their children get a paper cut. So now here it says, but the police prevented them from taking full control of McClain as their patient. The medic's attorney said, continuing to manhandle him and refusing to take McClain's handcuffs off. The prosecutor said Wednesday the paramedics, particularly Cooper, would have understood McClain's cries such as ow, ow, and his final words, please help me, as they listen. Now they celebrate this this is ritualistic for them. They like hearing these final words. They like hearing you beg. They don't have any sympathy. Anytime any of these media outlets show this, they're not showing this because they care. They're showing it to laugh at you. They're showing it to try to make you look weak. Facts. Shout out to Torian. Meanwhile, they're still trying to get Derek Chauvin out of jail, and he getting them hands put on him. Facts. I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? He took George Floyd down. He should be all right. He'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But Cooper had already made up his mind that McClain needed ketamine and didn't pay attention to any cues from his words and behavior, they said. Again, I'm white and I say so. Check out the uniform. Check out the haircut. Y'all already know what time it is. Situational awareness. It's the medical equivalent of putting on a blindfold, jumping in a car and slamming the gas, said Senior Assistant Attorney General Jason Slothbauer, returning to an analogy he made several times during his closing arguments. He pointed out McClain's plea for help and coherent responses to the pain of a police officer manhandling him ran contrary to Cooper's assertion during an interview with a police detective a few weeks later that he only heard gibberish from McClain. And that's because this is one of the main reasons why white people and non-black people attempt to make fun of the way that we talk, so that anytime anybody's communicating a clear message, they can sit there and say, well, we didn't understand. We didn't understand. You understood exactly what was said. You know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to understand these things. The reason why white people and non-black people and coons attempt to always make fun of how people talk is to warrant situations like this. Well, I didn't understand what he said because it was all gibberish. I listened to Robb on YouTube for an hour and it was just gibberish. You understood exactly what I said. Slothhober also played footage of Cooper telling the detective McClain kept trying to escape and walk across the grassy area he was subdued on. The defense attorney argued it's not fair to judge their actions with the benefit of hindsight, which has included body-worn camera footage and opinions from medical experts. Are you out your goddamn mind? Hindsight is the reason why the policies existed. I want you guys to understand these arguments that they're putting up for these clowns. Shout out to Denise Scales. What's good with it, Denise? I want y'all to understand these arguments that they're putting in for these clowns. Let me ask you guys this. Would you agree that laws, protocols, and rules are all created based on past experiences to make future experiences more easy and efficient? If you agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, then give me a thumbs down. And also, real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 41 people. We got 41 likes and we got 34 people watching. If everybody could take a moment and smash that like button and get us to 50 likes, that'd be great. So now what they're saying is nitpicking about details about what they could have done differently doesn't equate to criminal liability, their attorneys argued. Actually, it does. It does. It equates to possible criminal negligence, which they are liable for. What are they talking about? Facts. I agree. 100%. How many people are with Torian on this? This is one of my pet peeves, my intelligence being insulted. Facts. Super facts. And it doesn't matter if you're a genius. These people will always insult your intelligence, despite the fact that they teach from their science that your intelligence comes from your brain, which means that it shouldn't come from your skin. But these people in their culture, in American culture, try to equate your intelligence to your skin color and then turn around and tell you not to be skin color obsessed. David Goodard, who represents Chikunik, said it doesn't matter whether McClain actually suffered from excited delirium. What mattered, he argued, is whether the paramedics had reason to believe he did based on what they knew and didn't know at the scene. The excited delirium isn't even, none of this is the issue. The issue is, did protocol get followed or not? And if protocol was not followed and the death resulted as a result of protocol, those EMTs are guilty of negligent homicide, period. At the very least. You know what I'm saying? Cooper said Chikunik had plenty of reason to believe the police were still in an active struggle when they arrived. Their attorney said it doesn't matter what he believed. Did he follow protocol? So basically, he could have just rolled up and not even used ketamine. If he had rolled up and had a gun and the police was in an active struggle, he could have just shot Elijah McClain as well, and that would have been okay because we don't have to follow protocol. Make it make sense. They saw an unusual number of cop cars at the scene. It's not an unusual number of cop cars at the scene. Anytime a black person is pulled over by the police, the whole damn police station is going to be there within 10 minutes. The whole police station will be at the arrest scene if it's a black person getting arrested. They'll be there in less than 10 minutes. The whole police will be there. They saw several officers on top of someone restrained to the ground and heard them tell the person to stop fighting. They heard McClain was, quote unquote, on something, not responsive to questions, had displayed extreme strength and could see he was breathing fast and sweating. So Elijah McClain, this little, was he like 115 pounds skinny little kid, was displaying extreme strength. So Elijah McClain was Peter Parker, Spider-Man. He just didn't have on his uniform. Man, go somewhere with this bullshit. They will lie like this about any one of your children, any one of them. They'll take your infant and twist the head off of it like a damn bottle cap and say that it was resisting arrest and it displayed extreme strength. That's what these people do. And the reason why they do it is because they don't have to worry about retaliation. Now, somebody else got a 21-year-old, and that person's 21-year-old ride through some area where there's a police department controlled by people like us. And some Elijah McClain shit happens to their 21-year-old who like to drink Starbucks and play the violin. It'll be a national outrage. Whoops. My bad. Thought they were struggling. People didn't raise their children to go tit for tat. And that's why we got the problems that we got going on right now. So now here it says, but the paramedics also didn't get the full picture of the encounter because the police failed to give them other crucial information. Their attorneys argue, well, if the police information delivery to the paramedics contributed to the death of Elijah McClain, then what does that say about the police officers? How they walking around not guilty? How they walking around not guilty, y'all? Shout out to Deneen for being a bot enforcer. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug, too, for being a bot enforcer. Appreciate that. Goddard said they didn't know how the beginning of the police encounter with McClain had gone, that he had thrown up after one officer used a neck hold on him and said 7 times that he couldn't breathe. Now, let me ask you guys this. This is very common sense what happened here. And shout out to YGLTB1 for being a bot enforcer. Appreciate you, bro. Did I say Deneen? I'm sorry. I meant Denise. I'm sorry, Denise. Yeah, facts. Shout out to Torian. We know why they walking around not guilty. Yep. It's amazing how they put these articles together and just try to troll you and just make you think, oh, well, you know, they tried to get justice. They tried to, they tried to get something to happen. They tried to change things. They didn't try shit. What they're trying to do is they're trying to convince you that they give a fuck. Facts. Shout out to Torian. The same reason Carolyn Bryant was able to live a free woman to her last breath. Well, and you got to understand, too, that a lot of the people, if they're villains to us, then they're heroes to them. So Carolyn Bryant probably has a special place in most of the population at large's heart. Oh, she's just an old lady. Let her live. Nobody was saying let Emmett Till live, though. Nah, not let her live. Lock that bitch up. You know what I'm saying? And make her grandkids famous. They shouldn't be able to go anywhere without wearing the stench of what that old bitch did. So now here it says they made their decisions in real time based on what they could see and what information they had, Goddard said. No, they didn't. They made their decision based on good old boy code, and one hand washes the other. That's what they made their decisions based on. None of those decisions were based on any type of training that they had, except for the training that they got in the woods when they was hunting animals with they racist ass fathers. That's the training that they all used. So now here it says the 3 Aurora police officers stopped McClain, who was 23, as he walked home from a convenience store the night of August 24th of 2019, because a person called 911 to report seeing someone who looked suspicious. Black skin equals woke. Black skin equals suspicious. And see, that's the thing. People got to stop with that. I don't want to check. I want blood. If you took my son, I want yours. I don't want a check. You know what I'm saying? People got to stop. People going to see that money's not worth anything. It may seem like it's worth something. It's not, though. It's a way of pacifying people. The pacifier is the funniest trick in the book. Is the baby will sit there and suck on the pacifier, and it'll keep them calm until they realize there's no milk. People gonna keep taking that money until they realize ain't no substance behind it. Now here go to even better question. Shout out to Deneen. Here's the even better question, Deneen. Why did anybody even call? He wasn't doing anything. He was walking to the gas station. Somebody gonna call 911. There's a black person out of a cage. They just caught, I want to say, a 22-foot long alligator in South Florida somewhere. And nobody called the police on the alligator. And that alligator was a 22-foot alligator out of a cage. But they called the police on this 5'11", 120-pound black boy. They said he was on something. He wasn't on a goddamn thing, except for at the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, shout out to Torian. My bad, bro. This may be a controversial take, but I believe a lot of these cops, PC male, put their hands on black males because they want to slightly fulfill an academy fantasy of theirs. Now, I agree with that, bro. Facts. Remember the buck breaking they did on the plantation? They are their ancestors. Facts. Those are all facts, bro. I don't see the only people that would be controversial with would be somebody that, we're just going to cover for the cops because the cops never do anything wrong ever. We just saw a police officer attack a 60-year-old man and get his ass whooped. Cops do shit all the damn time. How do you walk suspiciously? By being enveloped in black skin. That's how you walk suspiciously. So now here it says the officer subdued McClain, handcuffed him, and used a neck hold that temporarily restricted oxygen to his brain. Mike Pello, one of Cooper's defense attorneys, said McClain should still be alive and sought to direct blame to the officers escalating the encounter with him so quickly. He suggested the paramedics face charges because of outrage over the tragedy of McClain's death and a demand for accountability. He argued they had to make a quick decision guided by their training that ketamine was necessary to treat excited delirium, which they were taught could turn fatal if not treated. Excited delirium is not, no one teaches that excited delirium can turn fatal if not treated. Excited delirium turns fatal when the police use that as a license to kill people. We implore you not to make this tragedy worse by convicting him, he said. Cooper and Chikunik each face charges of reckless manslaughter, criminally negligent homicide as a lesser included count, and 2 counts each of second-degree assault. The assault charges include assault causing serious bodily harm and unlawfully drugging McClain without consent. All of those are legit charges that they should be charged for and convicted on. Reckless means consciously ignoring a known risk of a person's actions, which is exactly what happened. Negligence refers to a person failing to perceive substantial risk of their actions through blatant deviation from a reasonable standard of care. Again, which is exactly what happens. Talking about you could take visible vital signs. How? Now, where are all the people that did the breakdowns on these? All the conservatives, all the coons, all the clown-faced supremacists. Did they come with the medical information? Did they come with the medical assessment? A separate jury convicted one officer, Randy Rodema, of criminally negligent homicide and third-degree assault. The jury acquitted another, former officer Jason Rosenblatt. Nathan Woodyard, who used a neck hold on McClain and was the first officer to stop him, was acquitted by a third jury of reckless manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. So this is a joke. This is a joke. So now what we're going to talk about is the fact that they were found guilty. I appreciate you, James. Paramedics guilty of negligent homicide, but not manslaughter in the death of Elijah McClain. An Adams County jury found 2 Aurora Fire Rescue medics guilty of criminal negligent homicide in the 2019 death of Aurora resident Elijah McClain. The jury decided the 2 men, and I want you guys to see something else here. Oh, okay, because before, if I'm not mistaken, it was either this one or the one before it. They had his name spelled wrong because, like I said, these media outlets, they hire people that are dumb to be the editor. So as you can see here, they got decided twice, written twice right there. The jury decided, right? Now, these people are such liars and they're so dishonest that if I read this the way that it's read, the way that it's written, they'd be trying to make fun of my English speaking ability when they didn't write it properly. The jury decided. Anytime you guys find typos, people need to exploit the fact that these typos are there. Who are you paying to do your editing? How can you consider yourself a media outlet if you have typos? These places have hundreds of thousands of dollars and $1 million budgets, and you have typos. Low quality work. Low quality work. An Adams County jury found 2 Aurora fire rescue medics guilty of criminally negligent homicide in the 2019 death of Aurora resident Elijah McClain. The jury decided that the 2 men bear responsibility for their decision to inject McClain with the sedative ketamine after the struggle with Aurora police officers. Jurors also found then Lieutenant Peter Chikunik guilty of second-degree assault for unlawfully administering drugs. They decided it met the requirements of a crime of violence sentence enhancer for causing serious bodily harm or death. Chikunik had decided on the dose of ketamine, 500 milligrams, to administer to McClain. Both Chikunik and Jeremy Cooper were found not guilty of manslaughter, the most serious charge, and of second-degree assault causing serious bodily harm. Jeremy Cooper and Chikunik each faced charges of reckless manslaughter, criminally negligent homicide, and 3 counts of second-degree assault. After about 16 hours of deliberation, the verdicts came down at 5:45 p.m. on Friday in District Court Judge Mark Warner's courtroom. Shanine McClain, Elijah McClain's mom, said on Instagram shortly after the jury began deliberating, "It has been a difficult time for me. It has been a difficult time for my children and anyone that truly loved Elijah. Common sense tells you if you apply for a job where you're in service of the community, then you're supposed to go into that job with a sense of humanity for the betterment of society to help those people," she added. "You got to understand that these people do not see us as people. They don't see us as a part of a community. They see us as objects. They see us as objects and obstacles. The extremists that make up 99.9% of the population at large believe that us living is some type of anti-white jihad against them. Which means that when you're 13% of the population, you are at a constant threat by those who are brainwashed by them and their ideology, which is a lot. So the thing is that this kind of stuff is going to continue to happen until people stop consciously making the decision to live in a delusion, because people are constantly they make the decision to live in a delusion. That's the decision that they make. They don't have to live in a delusion. They can open up their eyes and see reality as it is, but they make the conscious choice to live in a delusion. So when you live in a delusion, you get bad results. Shout out to Lloyd Scott 9 for being a bot enforcer. Appreciate it, bro. I don't know what else we could say about that. What else is there that we can say? You know? You can only say the stuff so many times in so many different ways. The fallout from the verdict was swift. An Aurora spokesperson said the paramedics' employment with the city has been terminated. Edward Kelly, general president of the Internal Association of Firefighters, decried the ruling, while Attorney General Phil Weisner maintained that prosecuting the case was the proper path. Today's verdicts against firefighter paramedic Jeremy Cooper and Captain Pete Chikunik only compound this tragedy, Kelly said. Colorado Attorney General Weisner's decision to criminalize split-second medical decision sets a dangerous, chilling precedent for pre-hospital care in our country. No, it doesn't. He didn't follow the protocol, period. The protocol is there so that you don't have to make these quote-unquote split-second decisions. You're supposed to understand the protocol and the procedures. This is just good old boy. This is good old boy splaining. Is what this is. Kelly added, there are far-reaching consequences we will address at a more appropriate time. But when politics drive prosecution forcing firefighters and paramedics to second-guess decisions. Public safety is compromised. You should always be second-guessing decisions. You should constantly be reevaluating what's going on. That's part of being a healthcare worker, is constant reevaluation. So what they want is for these EMTs to just be able to do whatever it is that they want to do and not follow protocols, not follow best practices. When they say this sets a dangerous precedent, what they actually mean is that if we start prosecuting white people for harming black people, that sets a dangerous precedent. Because what that's doing is that's taking away the privilege that's maintained. So anytime you hear any of these people talk about going down a dangerous road or XYZ, anything like that, understand that's what they're talking about. That's what they mean. This sets a dangerous precedent. You can't really have an advantage over somebody if you're liable to be punished for harming that person. The whole idea of privilege is to be able to have a group of people that you can harm without any consequence. But when you start issuing consequences for harming the bottom class of society, oh, we're going down a dangerous road. That's what that means. That's what that means. Understand that that's what that means. So now here it says Wisner said he knew these cases would be difficult to prosecute. We are satisfied with today's verdict, and we are confident that bringing these cases to trial was the right thing to do for justice for Elijah McClain and for healing in the Aurora community, he said. The prosecution teams in the 3 trials brought to light the events that occurred that dark night. The world, Elijah, and especially his mother, Shanine McClain, deserved to have the full story told, and justice demanded it. In a statement, Aurora Fire Chief Alec Auction said he is deeply concerned and disappointed with the verdict against Chikunik and Cooper. Why? They're deeply concerned. Understand, the only reason why they're upset is because these good white men should not be in trouble for deleting a black person. That is it. Everything else that they're just saying is babble. That is what this is coded language for. You know what I'm saying? Basically, when these people talk about going down a dangerous road, when a jury convicts a white person of harming a black person, they call that turning on their own. That's what they call that. So now it says Edward Kelly, General President of the International Association of Firefighters, decried the ruling, while Attorney General Phil Wisner maintained that prosecuting the case was the proper path. Oh, you know what? I was down here. My bad. While I appreciate the jury's diligence, integrity, and public service to ensure a fair trial, I am discouraged that these paramedics have received felony punishment for following their training and protocols in a place and time and for making decisions while taking split-second action in a dynamic environment. They didn't follow their training and protocols. So I want you guys to see how these people in these very high positions, they're not opposed to just lying. They're lying. They didn't follow protocol. I showed you how they didn't follow protocol. There's no protocol for visual vital signs because the only vital sign that you can visibly take is respirations. Everything else requires you to get a blood pressure. You got to get a blood pressure cuff. To get a pulse, you got to find a artery and measure the amount of heartbeats that you hear, or put a pulse oximeter on somebody's finger. A temperature requires you to use a thermometer. You're sitting here lying to the public, and the Denver Gazette is publishing these lies, and they're not opposed to lying to cover their own back, because this is not a civilization, and there is no such thing as ethics. There is no such thing as morality. The only thing that there is means to an end. And what you see here is a sophisticated meshwork of bullshit to try to make a means hit the ends. Facts. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9, framing the narrative in an unscrupulous manner. Facts. Well, they had to do what they had to do. No, they didn't. They had to follow protocol. These questions, if Elijah McClain was a white boy and they did this to him, these questions wouldn't even be asked. The only questions that would be asked would be, well, how is his family going to go on with the loss of their young one taken too soon? That's the only shit that anybody would ask. Which is why when it comes to these kind of situations, that's the only kind of shit we need to be asking. So now here it says McClain died a few days after 3 Aurora police officers stopped him as he walked home from a convenience store the night of August 24th of 2019 after buying, not stealing, buying an iced tea. A teenager had spotted him in a black mask covering most of his face, waving his arms, and called 911 to report that he, quote unquote, looked sketchy. Probably a white stoner teenager. McClain was not accused of any crime. Yet, how many white people did you see celebrating his death and saying that he shouldn't be resisting? What the hell should he not be resisting if he wasn't accused of any crime? Why should you just let the police pull on you and tug on you and choke you if you haven't even been accused of any crime? What the hell are they doing to you if you haven't been accused of any crime? But white people think that you should just sit there and allow yourself to be a punching bag for their attack dogs. He was listening to music and often wore a mask to keep himself warm, prosecutor said. Because of the tropical climate in Colorado, the tropical climate that Colorado is famous for year round. During a struggle, the officers took McClain to the ground, handcuffed him, and one used a neck hold that restricts oxygen flow to the brain. So now remember, McClain was not accused of committing a crime. So why was all of this going on? Why did all this happen? Why was he in a wrestling match with the police? Shout out to you, Law. What's good with it, bro? The paramedics who faced trial decided to give McClain a 500 milligram dose of ketamine, a sedative used in medical care as an anesthetic and for pain management. The paramedics claimed they administered ketamine because they believed McClain was, quote unquote, suffering from excited delirium, a controversial diagnosis typically described as an onset of symptoms such as extreme aggression, strength, resistance to pain, and paranoia. We know that that's not what happened. And we also know that excited delirium is not a real diagnosis. So why are they still basing their training lessons off of it? Yeah, that if you guys agree with DC Precise, facts. Shout out to DC Precise. His crime was being black and being alive. That was the crime. But of course, you know, they're not, they won't say that. Now they will delete you, but they won't say that. He went into cardiac arrest and stopped breathing within a few minutes of receiving the injection, and he never regained consciousness. A doctor declared him brain dead in the hospital 3 days later. Now, mind you, remember, white people have taught for centuries that black people are brain dead. So their argument will be that the ketamine didn't do anything, because that's literally how extreme they are. They teach their children that. They've been teaching this for centuries. As far back as Charles Darwin. On Friday, supporters of the paramedic filled the right side of the courtroom. Some looked down in dismay as their verdicts were read out, and a few burst into tears. Well, as a result of what those EMTs did, Elijah McClain burst into heaven. So don't nobody care about these tears. Supporters of McClain and members of the Attorney General's office filled the other side. The Adams County Sheriff's Office took Chikunik into custody because of the jury's decision that his assault charge for unlawful drugging met the requirements of a sentence enhancer for causing serious bodily harm. Supporters cried as the click of handcuffs snapping shut around his wrists sounded through the courtroom. Oh, well. They weren't crying about that. Facts. Shout out to you, Law. They had no reason to touch that man. None. Yep. No reason to touch that man. Charlie Richardson, general counsel for the Aurora Firefighters Union, said the cases set a worrisome national precedent for the criminalizing of administering criminal sedatives. No, it didn't. He characterized it as outrageous that the prosecutors brought in experienced doctors as experts to testify that the ketamine injection killed McClain, while paramedics received just a few hours of training on the drug and were taught its use is safe. They didn't use it according to their teaching. Facts, super facts, you law. If you guys agree with you law, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree with you law, give me a thumbs down and let me know why. You law says it's still crazy to me that they gave him a drug without knowing his medical history. This is dangerous. I hope they go under the jail for this. Facts. The criminalization of chemical sedation by firefighters has to be completely reevaluated, he said. It's not the criminalization of chemical sedation. They're not in trouble because they administered ketamine. They're in trouble because they negligently administered ketamine. They listened to testimony. They didn't do their own assessment. There's plenty of things that they did wrong. Based on this situation, I do not believe it's fair or reasonable to require any firefighter to give anybody any chemical sedation. Each charge faced by the paramedics is eligible for probation. Second-degree assault carries the longest potential sentence out of all of them, with a possible prison term of up to 16 years. Following the verdicts, Shanine McClain stood outside the courthouse alongside supporters with their fists raised. She chanted her son's name and said that we did it. As Weiser spoke, Shanine McClain sobbed and hugged Omar Montgomery, the Aurora NAACP's president. Her supporters spoke while she did not take any questions herself. Her supporters said true justice would have been McClain going home that night in August. Yeah, I agree. That's what true justice would have been. Because again, what was McClain charged for? Why was the police messing with him in the first place? So I think we get the picture. We don't need to read all of that because we already read that first article, and that first article, for the most part, did a good job of explaining. Now, I got a question for you guys. How many people have heard of an individual named Nico Rios? If you've heard of Nico Rios, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have not heard of Nico Rios, then give me a thumbs down. Now, I want to take a look at something real quick here. Real quick, while you guys are waiting for me, give me a like in the comment section. Let's check this out real quick. I think y'all might get a good laugh out of this. We're going to take a look at this. Hold on. Okay. All right, yeah, we're going to take a look at this. Now, this is Nico Rios right here, all right? I think y'all going to enjoy this. Let's see.
You gonna do? Yeah, I can do. I'm Phil. So, right, what I'm gonna do?
Yes, sir. I don't mean to be any.
No, you're good. So you said it's been 6 hours since you had your last drink?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So
7 p.m. It's like 2 a.m. now.
Okay.
I live 2 blocks away. Right.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do? I want to conduct a series of field sobriety tests, okay, to make
Yes,
sure
sir.
you're fit to drive, because I smell alcohol in your breath and you're slurring your words a little. So with the Slater's wristband, but you said you're coming from Famous Dave's. So I just want to run some field sobriety tests. Are you happy to do that?
Absolutely. Why not?
Awesome. Dispatch right to Delta.
I don't mean to cause a gas. Nope.
I'm being roadside. I'm just driving. It's not deprivation period. All right. So, yeah, just hang on.
Do something. Can I have you open up your mouth and open up your mouth? Nope, not blow it. Yeah. Lift your tongue up. Lift your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
You're good. You can stop.
So, like I say, if you just stand easy over your feet together and hands on my side, what I'm actually going to do, we're going to go over to the sidewalk, just that way we're away from traffic, bud.
You can just me, bro.
All right.
Take care of it, bro. Take care.
That's right. No, I don't want you on the ice. You just take a couple of steps back. All right. So I'm just going to test to make sure that you're, well, when you do, you see the tip of my pen? And just look at the tip of my pen for a sec and just hold that.
The bottom or top?
The top, the tip of it.
Got you.
And then what I want you to do, I want you to follow the pen with your eyes and your eyes only, okay? What I want you to do, I want you to follow it with your eyes and your eyes only. Don't move your head, okay? Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Okay. Okay then. Now, just keep following it with your eyes and your eyes only, okay?
Yes, sir.
Reset 30.
Okay.
Would you like me to do a dance?
Just one more. Just what we're gonna do, we're gonna go up now, okay? So
Yes,
same
sir.
thing, just follow your eyes and your eyes only.
Hey, where are you from? Can you come down?
Just
Time,
We're doing the
no,
test. No.
just I need to do this test, right? But just stand still, your feet together, and your arms on by your side, please.
time out.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. Is this dude resisting? If you guys would say that he's resisting, give me a thumbs up. If he's not resisting, then give me a thumbs down. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button or hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also hit that bell. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. We almost got 50 likes. So shout out to everybody. If everybody could smash that like button and get us to 60, that'd be great.
Where are you from with your accent?
Okay, if you don't continue the test, I'm going to take as a refuse,
sorry,
right?
Sorry, yeah, no, I'm not going to refuse, guys, because obviously you guys are cops.
Just put your feet together and down beside
Yes,
bed,
sir.
and just follow your eyes and your own line, please.
You keep my head straight?
Yeah, please.
Up. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to move on to another test. It's called the walk and turn test.
Whatever
So what I'm going to have you do is, if you just step back a little, just so we can. Actually, we'll use. We're going to use this line.
Right where he's at.
You reckon 1004, and you're going to do that until you're told to stop.
Yes,
Do you understand?
I can do that, yes, sir.
All right, in your own time, you can start.
1002, 2003.
Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys show Black Free Thinker some love for supporting the channel for 2 months. Definitely appreciate you, Black Free Thinker, and shout out to the whole green team. Make sure you guys throw some flames and some radiation emoji in the chat for Black Free Thinker. Definitely appreciate it.
3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to get on a flat surface. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay, that's perfect. You can stop that. I just need to. And my colleague might be grabbing a bit of paper. I'm just going to read you something. Are you grabbing it? All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to read you something here. It's a little bit wordy, but I have to read it verbatim, so it might sound a little funny, okay?
Hey, can I ask you a few things?
Just let me read this real quick, because
Yes,
I've got to
sir.
read
Yes,
this to you, okay? The officer shall inform the individual that North Dakota law requires the individual to take the screening test to determine whether the individual is under the influence of alcohol, and that refusal of the individual to submit to a screening test may result in revocation for at least 180 days and up to 3 years of the individual's driving privileges. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand, sir.
So what I'm going to request is that you provide a specimen breath. It's called an alcohol sensor, otherwise known as a breathalyzer.
Yes, sir.
Are you happy to provide that?
I'm not going to do that. You know why?
Why is
I'm
that?
going to speak it because I'm like 2 blocks away.
Okay.
You guys are picking on me.
Okay.
And
So
you guys are gonna regret picking on me.
okay.
Because you don't know who the I am.
Okay.
Just 1 second. I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna give you a chance again. Will you provide the test?
No, sir.
Okay.
And you know what?
So at this moment in time, you're under arrest for DUI.
I'm
Place on my back. Right, I'm gonna have another thing. Hold on. You want to cough up? Cheers. Just a couple more things I need to read to you, okay?
No, hey, I'm being called trouble, you guys.
Don't trouble me.
Dispatch right to do it. So I'm under arrest for DUI.
All right. So
Yep, that's facts. Facts, Black Free Thinker. He's a GOP legislator. Nico Rios. Facts. Yep. What a clown.
your car, okay? You reading
okay.
something? You read something?
All right, I'm just going to read something real quick. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney and have them present while being questioned. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you prior to any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions, make any statements. Do you understand these rights if I read them to you? With these rights in mind, you still want to talk to me?
What's that?
Okay, do you understand these rights that I've read them to you, and with them in mind, you wish to talk to me?
Yes, sir. So, what can I do to drive my truck off, drop it off my place?
I'm going to read you one more thing, and then we can worry about your vehicle, okay? The law enforcement officer shall inform the individual North Dakota law requires the individual to take a chemical test to determine whether the individual is under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and refusal of the individual to submit to the test directed by the law enforcement officer may result in revocation of the driver's privileges for a minimum of 180 days and up to 3 years. So what this request is down at the jail, there's another machine. It's called the Intoxilizer 8000. We'll be requesting 2 specimens of breath.
Can we at least drop my
Hey, he do look like Adam Sandler though. That's hilarious. I never even thought of that. That's hilarious.
place?
Okay.
Like 2 blocks away.
Hey, listen, he's asking you a question first. Let's start with that.
Okay.
Are you willing to submit to the Intoxilizer 8000 or are you not? Simple as that. Yes or no?
I will submit that if you let me draw my stuff.
Okay. You're not going to be driving your vehicle, okay?
No, I
So, but what we can do, we can lock your vehicle, okay, and we can bring the keys with us.
there's 2 of you. How many?
Not driving that car that far. So this is
It's literally like 2 blocks away.
Listen, this is what I can do though. Instead of leaving it on that side, I can put it over there. I can put it right over there when it's more out
I want to drop my truck off.
All right,
Okay.
no, we're not doing that. So
We're gonna go to this vehicle.
So we're going.
You're a
Okay.
Hey, is that other police officer black? Is that this police officer? Is he black?
2 blocks away.
Listen, this is what I can do though. Instead of leaving it on that side, I can put it over there.
Man, listen to him sounding like Greg Foreman. Straight up, he sounds like a black conservative. Man.
8,000, are you not? Simple as that. Yes or no?
I will submit that if you let me draw my stuff.
Okay. You're not going to be driving your vehicle, okay?
No,
So, but what we can do, we can lock your vehicle, okay, and we can bring the keys with us.
there's 2 of you. How many?
Not driving that car that far. So this is
It's literally like 2 blocks away.
Listen, this is what I can do though.
Man, there's one thing that he never got in trouble for at home, and that was having too much bass in his voice.
Instead of leaving it on that side, I can put it over there. I can put it right over there when it's
No,
more
I
out
want
the way.
to drop my truck off.
All right,
Okay.
no, we're not doing that. So
We're gonna go to this vehicle.
So we're going.
You're a
Okay.
Ha!
We're going to go to the rear passenger side of the vehicle, okay?
reason nobody respects.
Okay. There's no need for that language, bud.
You guys are gonna read this more than I will. I just can't guarantee that.
All right, just hold on for a sec. Hold on for a sec. Just don't go in yet. Okay. As of everyone, this vehicle has been searched. There is nothing in there. Anything that's found once you leave is going to be related to you, okay? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So it's easier to strap them in.
Hey, I mean, no respect to.
Put it in.
I'm just gonna. You ain't got any weapons or anything on you, have you?
No, sir.
I'm just gonna search you real
There's
quick.
no weapons on my car either.
So what do you want us to do about your car? So what I can do is I can roll up your window, shut your vehicle off, and you can have your keys in your possession so that when you are released, a sober individual can do it, or
I'll tell you what.
That's the best. We're not moving the car. That's your only option.
I'll drive it to my place.
No.
and I can.
No, you can't drive
We're
it.
not doing that.
That's
All right.
No.
You good?
Can you guys give me
You good?
5 seconds?
Are you
to talk
happy for us to park the vehicle?
All right,
Or do you want to?
Can I give me 5 seconds to talk to you?
No.
Okay, step in the car, bud.
No.
Just
Get
step
in.
in the car.
Go ahead and get in.
Hey, where are you from?
It doesn't matter.
Here, light. There it is.
All right, where's the keys to your vehicle? And we'll turn it off and lock it.
It's inside my transmission.
Do you want them with you? Simple yes or no.
No.
You don't want them in? You want them in your car with you? You want them to just left in there? We can leave your car just like that if you want.
If you could pull it over to somewhere where it won't get hit.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I can move it over more, and I'll leave it there. Shut
That's
it off.
fine.
And give you
Bring
the
me the
keys.
keys, yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we'll do that. Was there an S on the end of that? How many? Is it 1 or 2 phones? 2? All right, I'll ask.
Ah.
Do you want your phones? There's 2 phones in there. Do you want those, and do you want your?
I would take 2 phones here. I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Because I got to call Attorney General directly to let these guys know you're being a to me.
Okay. Just to let you know, all this is video and audio recorded on body camera, including your language. All right. Do you want your wallet?
So your camera's right here.
Have you got a wallet?
It's in my fucking goddamn it, my arms are hurting.
Okay. Have you got a wallet in the vehicle that you want?
My wallet is in my left. Yes, my wallet's on my left.
It's in your pocket.
My left Yes, sir.
Okay, you want to hop out? Oh, no, I'll grab that for you. That way it's that's uncomfortable for you.
God damn it, dude, my fucking. You think I'm gonna run from you or leave you? Yes or no?
Step out. I'll grab your wallet.
Can you at least put?
He did want his 2 phones. Yes.
Do you want your 2 phones? Do you want your phone too?
Yeah. No, there's no wallet there.
First of all, watch your mouth, man.
There's no
I'm
wallet.
doing you a favor.
You're doing me. Shut the fuck up.
Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. There's no wallet there.
Turn it off.
Get in the car. No, get in the car.
So I thought I had wallet. My bad.
Nope, not in there.
My bad. Dude, my wrist hurting. Can you listen now?
This is what the taxpayer dollars in North Dakota are paying for.
So where are you from with that?
Dispatch 5 originally from England. You're out of the county. There's just some opportunity.
What's that again?
Felt like there was opportunity.
So how does you were born in England? Right?
Yeah.
How does somebody born in England become a police officer in North Dakota?
Same as anyone else.
What do you mean same there?
Which went to the academy.
Because I don't think people from England should be arresting Americans.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a completely different debate, right? Am I wrong or right?
That's your opinion.
When were you born in England? What year?
That's not relevant, but
So now you see, he's asking him. He said he doesn't feel that Americans should be being arrested by people who were born in England. Now, there's a reason why we gotta watch this.
buddy,
What's that?
that's not relevant.
Officers wrestling. Do you love
I don't know what you mean.
Are you proud to be from England?
Yeah, I like my country. I have.
What?
Yes, I like my country.
Are you proud to be English at least?
Why is that relevant?
Because what are you doing here in North Dakota, arresting people? Your country's being taken over by migrants and refugees, right? Am I wrong?
You hear what he said? He said your country is being taken over by migrants and refugees. If you guys heard that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, give me a thumbs down. Which is funny because that's what's that's what's going on here too.
My country. I have.
What?
Yes, I like my country.
Are you proud to be English at least?
Why is that relevant?
Because what are you doing here in North Dakota, arresting people? Your country's being taken over by migrants and refugees, right? Am I wrong? You're arresting me for driving home. Well, people come into your country and rape your women. Yes or no? And I'm the bad guy? Yes or no? Tell me. Tell me, bro. Yes or no? You can't even answer me because you know you're wrong. I don't give a bro. I'll fight for you. I'm gonna fight for the people in England more than you ever would, you little bitch. Am I wrong, bro? Am I fucking wrong? Am I wrong, motherfucker?
Oh man, I'm dying laughing, man. I'm dying laughing. This dude is in the back spazzing out. Oh man.
Yes or no? Am I wrong? answer me, bro. How many English women have been raped by migrants? I mean, thousands every week. And you're arresting me in North Dakota. How many of your friends and family members have been brutalized and terrorized by migrants? And you're arresting me. Good for you, bro. Good for you. You betrayed your people. You sold your people out.
There it is right there. You betrayed your people. You sold your people out. What are you talking about? This is a person that the GOP, Republicans, conservatives, libertarians alike, all of them, because they're all the same people, chose to represent them, which means that in him saying this stuff, he's representing them. They can never live it down. They can never live it down. Yeah, big facts. If you guys agree with Lloyd Sky 9, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. He's alluding to white supremacy. Facts.
Good for you, bro. Good for you. You betrayed your people. You sold your people out. You're a traitor. You can't even answer me. You can't even respond to me. You can't even look at me. Because you know I'm right. Because you know I'm right. How long have you been in America, sir? You can't even answer me. That's how pathetic and cup you are. You can't even answer me, bitch. How long have you been in the United States?
Man, he in that back seat going in.
You're destroying your people in Europe are being destroyed and raped and pilgrimage, and you're arresting me. That's how pathetic and weak you are. You f***ing coward. You f***ing bitch. I'm not even drunk. And you know I'm not, you f***ing bitch. Killing me.
Over there in that corner, door 174. Just go to that door, please. Okay.
I just changed your job. I don't mean to be. I don't mean to get this sorry.
DUI.
Buddy.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting on him, and the last two people weren't even the people. You want this? No,
Yeah, it's going to be DUI enforcement. I'd like to.
I'm not going to run. I'm not going to sit in the chair.
Do it, right?
Huh?
Huh? You don't want to blow and see him? Yeah. And it's just been a man full of abuse. I'm a slave to the system, traitor to my country, bitch, all that stuff.
Yeah. See you later, buddy.
See you later.
Hey, sorry for giving you trouble, dude. Hey, is that operator from England? Hey, my bad, dude. I don't give you I got some clear arms. I might disagree with you. That's not too bad. But this dude from England, apparently, trust me.
You see how they purposely blurred out the camera? Now, here's what's funny, right? There was a reason why I wanted to show you guys that video. Because the New York Post is crying about it. They're crying about it. Shout out to James Sumler. What's good with it, bro? North Dakota lawmaker unleashes homophobic racial slurs during DUI arrest. Going to regret picking on me. So he's crying about this. New York Post is crying about this. They're calling this racism. Sounds real woke to me. Now, you know, one could say that some of the things that the guy in the backseat was ranting about had merit. But now it's interesting, right? Because when it comes to a situation like that, when people are attacking us, it's, oh, well, this is just uncomfortable truth. But when it comes to old boy attacking this police officer, it's racist. It's racist because it hurt my little PC feelings. A North Dakota politician told the police they're going to regret picking on him and threatened to call the state's attorney general during his quote-unquote racist and homophobic rant as he was arrested for drunk driving after a Christmas party last Friday. Representative Nico Rios, a Wilson Republican lawmaker, was arrested and charged with DUI and refusing to provide a chemical test, according to the Bismarck Tribune. He was pulled over when officers noticed the POL failing to stay in his lane, which prompted Rios to become verbally abusive, homophobic, racially abusive, and discriminatory, according to an arrest record obtained by the outlet. Rios was captured on body cam footage trying to pass off his business card when asked by the officers for his license and registration during the stop. The lawmaker was put through a field sobriety test and refused to take a breathalyzer test, telling officers he only lived 2 blocks away from where he was pulled over. You guys are going to regret picking on me because you don't know who the F I am, Rios told the officers. Rios was handcuffed and read his rights before he asked the officers, what can I do to drive my truck and drop it off at my place? He was told that he was going to jail. Rios called one officer a effing, and then you guys know what this is. It begins with an F and ends with a T. Right. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. So the Sombreritos are caping for the right-wing white Hispanic over the Englishman. There you go. I think he does. Shout out to Sybil. Facts. If you guys think that this unruly detainee should get a little shot of ketamine, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that he should get a shot of ketamine, then give me a thumbs down. So now here it says he was placed in the back of an officer squad car and demanded his phone so that he could call North Dakota Attorney General Drew Wrigley to let him know that the officers were being an ass to him. Honestly, that officer wasn't being an ass, if you ask me. That officer actually was too nice to him. I don't think that officer was being an ass at all. You know what I'm saying? Rios, sitting in the backseat of the police cruiser, turned his tirade against Officer Alexander Welch, an English-born American citizen. As the lawmaker pointed out the officer's accent and bizarrely claimed that he doesn't think people from England should be arresting Americans. Now, that's interesting. It says that he bizarrely claimed that. Now, that's a bizarre claim, right? That's a bizarre claim. Yeah, I agree. 550 milligrams, the max dosage. Facts. They need to get a turkey baster full and put a syringe on the end of it full of ketamine. To get this dude acting right. Because he's definitely acting like he's got excited delirium, isn't he? He's definitely acting like he's got excited delirium. Your country is being overtaken by effing migrants and refugees, right? Rios asked, citing the refugee crisis in England. Undocumented bros global because the movement is global. You're arresting me for driving home, but people come into your country and grape your women. And I'm the effing bad guy. I'm going to fight for the people of England more than you ever would, you little bitch. Oh, man. What is wrong with these people? These are the people. Who's more degenerate? The population at large or the people that they put in office as lawmakers? That's my question to you guys. Who's more degenerate? Welch refuses to answer Rios' vile remarks as the representative continues to belittle him from the back of the car, the body cam footage shows. You're ruining my life so you can effing make a paycheck, Rios reportedly told the officer before throwing another homophobic slur at him. Rios was elected to his first term in 2022 following the creation of District 23, which covers parts of Williston, Trenton, and Beaufort in North Dakota. The deeply embarrassed lawmakers apologized on December 18th for lashing out. This past weekend, I had a few too many drinks at a Christmas party, made the mistake of driving home, and received a DUI, Rios said in a statement on X. What he means is that he made the mistake of getting caught. He doesn't regret any of this. The only thing that he regrets is getting caught. I'm deeply embarrassed, as this is not how I want to represent the people, but it's too late though, because you do. Not only do you represent the people, you represent your party as well. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Should all Republicans and conservatives be looked at the same way we're looking at Rios right now, and he should be a gauge for them? If you guys think so, then give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, then give me a thumbs down. If you guys think that they should, we're going to start calling them the Rios publicans. Right, Deneen. This is what they meant by compliance? Yeah, right. Because this guy complied, you know what I'm saying? My terrible decisions that night will not hinder my ability to represent my fight for the people of District 23, the district that they created so that you can have a job, clown. I'm deeply sorry and regretful for my actions. Rio said he will seek appropriate help to make sure that it never happens again. One of the best things that could happen for him to make sure that it never happens again is if he loses his job. Oh, but he's got a disease. He's got a problem. He's got a disease. Alcoholism. It's a disease. He can't control himself. It's a disease. It's a disease. He doesn't know what he was doing. It was a disease. North Dakota's Democrat NLP party leader insinuated Rio should resign for his abhorrent actions on Thursday. It used to be that when public servants disgraced themselves, they resigned rather than bring shame upon those they represent, Party Chair Adam Goldwyn said in a statement. It seems the Republican Party no longer has a sense of shame. The Democrats are committed to governing with honor and dignity for all of us. Now that's about a damn lie. That's a lie. Rio's party condemned his deeply troubled actions. We are deeply troubled by Representative Rio's dangerous decision to drive while intoxicated and his remarks to law enforcement officers, State Republican Party Executive Director Andrew Nihus told the outlet, adding his behavior does not represent the values of the ND GOP. It does. it does represent the values of the NDGOP. And here's the reason why it does represent the NDGOP. I don't know anybody else from the NDGOP. I know this clown because of this article, which means that if that's my first exposure, then that's what represents you until something else better comes along and overshines that past embarrassing representation that you just had. Can you guys name anybody else from the North Dakota GOP? If you can name anybody else from the North Dakota GOP, then please do. Now, remember, we're playing by their rules. And this is what they do, and this is what they say. A celebrity represents all black people. So this guy then, in turn, represents all of the North Dakota GOP. How many of you all would feel comfortable having the North Dakota GOP govern your affairs? The two charges are misdemeanors under state law. Rios is scheduled for a February 5th pretrial conference in municipal court. Rios was also cited for having an open container of alcohol in his truck. So he was sitting up there sipping while he was having this meltdown with the police. Now, we got to talk about Nimrod Randhawa. Shout out to Nimrod Randhawa. Modern Nikki. How many people was aware that she just bought a $2.4 million South Carolina home after leaving office and joining the Boeing board? This is the value chain. So now she's on this Boeing board. This is one of the reasons why Nikki Haley always advocates in favor of war. Nikki Haley is getting a big paycheck from the AIPAC. She's getting a big kickback from all of these military industrial complex businesses. This is the value chain. And with all of that kickback money, she's bought herself a female cave. $2.4 million on a private island, South Carolina. Yeah, that's her. Nimrata Randhawa is the real name. She doesn't even go by her real name. She quietly bought this $2.4 million South Carolina island home after leaving office and joining Boeing board. So this house is dope. Look at this. Well, let me turn that music off. Nikki Haley invested a luxurious $2.4 million in a waterfront estate. Look at that. Constructed in 2003, the Mediterranean style dwelling sprawls across a half acre, commanding a picturesque view of the Kiowa River, adorned with century-old oaks and palm trees. How many of y'all live in a house that's comparable to that? Look at that. Nice blue pool. The sophisticated architecture boasts tiered balconies, private terraces, a pool, poolside loggia housing, and an outdoor kitchen. She got an outdoor kitchen. She got an outdoor kitchen. Look at that inside. She sleeps in that. She sleeps in that bed alone. Oh man, that bed has got mothballs and dust balls in it. Look at that. Look at that. Now that's a nice living room right there. She must be using this place as a rental, as a rental estate or like an Airbnb or something. You could tell because ain't no TV in the area where there's a bunch of people at. Positioned 21 miles off of Charleston's coast, Kiowa Island offers a serene sanctuary equipped with prestigious golf courses and a 5-star resort. How many people even knew about this little area here? I'm going to take my YouTube money, if YouTube ever allows my channel to get the type of exposure that it's supposed to get, and I'm going to buy a mansion right next to her, and I'm going to play my music loud as hell at like 3 o'clock in the morning. That's what I'm going to do. In a subtle move, Nikki Haley, currently vying for a Republican presidential ticket and trailing former President Donald Trump in recent primary polls, quietly spent $2.4 million for a waterfront estate on Kiowa Island, South Carolina. The 51-year-old political figure, previously the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, procured the residence in October of 2019, following her exit from public office and 5 months after joining the board of Boeing. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Do you all think that she bought this estate with her money that she made at Boeing? If you guys think that she bought this estate with the money that she made at Boeing, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't, then give me a thumbs down. The Post has reached out to Haley's representatives for comment. This expensive mansion, jointly purchased with her husband, Michael Haley, finds its place in the exclusive enclave of Kiowa Island. Originally listed for $3.3 million, Haley and her husband's adept negotiation skills resulted in a significant reduction in the property's price at the time. Constructed in 2003, the Mediterranean-style dwelling sprawls across a half-acre, commanding picturesque views of Kiowa River, adorned with century-old oaks and palm trees. Kiowa Island, located less than an hour drive from Charleston, has long been known as an affluent but low-key beach getaway with prime golf courses and its famed sanctuary resort. Look at this. Over the years, Kiowa has hosted a plethora of distinguished guests, including Bill and Hillary Clinton, George Clooney, Oprah Winfrey, and President Joe Biden. Yeah, facts. If you guys agree with win, lose, or rug, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Bought it with money from insider trading. Facts. Bought it with money from white fishing, because we all know that Nikki Haley is a white fish. You know what I'm saying? She's a white fish, but then she'll say that she's a woman of color when it helps her case. But if you're such a woman of color, then why don't you go by your real name? You know what I'm saying? These people are crazy. The sophisticated architecture boasts tiered balconies, private terraces, and a pool and poolside loggia housing an outdoor kitchen. Internally, the abode encompasses more than 5,700 square feet, accommodating 4 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms, offering ample formal spaces. Upon entry, a grand 2-story foyer leads to a spacious great room showcasing picture windows, lofty ceilings, and a fireplace and bar area. Alongside a formal dining area, an informal dining space extends into a terrace. The state-of-the-art gourmet kitchen boasts top-tier appliances, dual graphite-topped islands, and a bar seating. Ascending to the second floor unveils a generously sized master suite, complete with a private terrace cozy sitting area with a breakfast bar, a lavishly equipped bath with dual vanities, and twin walk-in closets. Man. I want one of these. You know what I'm saying? All these clowns, hip-hop rappers, you know what I'm saying? They want to floss all this nonsense. I want one of these. If I had a house like this, y'all might get like 3 streams a week from me. I want me a house like this, man. It'll be turned up here all the time, man. I'm throwing ambient lighting in, speakers all over the place. The best kush money could buy. Man, it's a wrap. Other amenities include an office, a 3rd-floor guest suite, and a bonus room convertible into a media enclave. Additionally, the residence offers a 4-stop elevator. Good Lord, a cutting-edge smart home security system. Before assuming her role in the Trump administration as the U.S. ambassador, Haley served as a Republican governor of South Carolina from 2011 to 2017, curbing her second term to embark on her diplomatic venture. Following her resignation in 2018, she remained in New York City until her son's high school graduation in the spring of 2020. Post her tenure, reports surfaced that Haley boosted her fortune 8-fold to $8 million after leaving the Trump administration. From hard work, right? Blood, sweat, and tears, right? Deneen said you got to invite the chat community over for a cookout. Yeah, y'all can come over for a cookout. Y'all could definitely come over for a cookout. Haley had a net worth of less than $1 million when she surprisingly called it quits in 2018. So then she increased her money 8-fold. How did she do it? With the American way, right? Hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. In March of 2020, Haley resigned from the board of Boeing, citing the giant aerospace company's efforts to obtain federal assistance because of the C-19 pandemic. Before her resignation, she banked more than $700,000 in consulting fees, as well as more than $300,000 in cash and stock from the company. Meanwhile, Haley remains a director for United Homes Group, which has paid her more than $250,000, a sum that doesn't include future equity and grants and other perks. She subsequently promoted her book, With All Due Respect. I bet you that book is one of the most poorly written, boring books for sale today. So the last thing that we got to talk about is Governor Kathy Hochul. Now, what did Governor Kathy Hochul do? What did she do? What did Governor Kathy Hochul do? Anybody know? This is what she did. New York Governor's Reparation Commission slammed as divisive. Oh, and it's a slap in somebody's face. Now, the only people who slap in the face this is a slap in our face. This is a slap in black people's face. This mockery of our history, right? But you know,
Cole House
wouldn't be America if the majority didn't want to try to find a reason to be offended about every damn thing. So we're going to take a look at this and see exactly what happens. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to tell me about a lot of things that are going on in the United States that are divisive. Because what it seems like is that the only thing that ever has to stop because it's divisive is anything involving reparations.
Began slavery back in 1827. We found this bill is a continuation of the work that began when New York began slavery back in 1827. We've had a lot of steps along the way, some backwards, some forwards, many profound failures. But by signing this bill today, I'm authorizing the creation of a commission, a committee to study what reparations might look like in New York. Let's be clear.
This shit needs to get booed off of the stage. Facts. If you guys agree with Lloyd Sky 9, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. The most divisive aspect in America is the racial wealth gap that still exists. Deneen Grant says she can't stand this lady. Is it because she looks like Skeletor?
Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots!
Oh, man.
About what reparations means. It doesn't mean fixing the past, undoing what happened. We can't do that. No one can.
Yeah, we can. We can do it. You all just don't want to see what that looks like. And a lot of the people on our side just ain't ready to get that extreme yet. But it definitely can get fixed.
But it does mean more than giving.
I'm about to run this back. All right, let's get it.
The work that began when New York began slavery back in 1827. We've had a lot of steps along the way, some backwards, some forwards, many profound failures. But by signing this bill today, I'm authorizing the creation of a commission, a committee to study what reparations might look like in New York. Let's be clear about
what the hell do there need to be all these damn commissions to study? Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. Commission to study means no. Commission to study is an insult of everyone's intelligence. People need to understand that. Please understand that. Understand what they mean when they say certain things, right? There doesn't need to be a commission to study. Let's continue.
Reparations means. It doesn't mean fixing the past, undoing what happened. We can't do that. No one can. But it does mean more than giving people a simple apology 150 years later. This bill makes it possible to have a conversation, a reasoned debate about what we want the future to look like.
We don't need to have a conversation and we don't need to have a debate. There's nothing to debate about and there's nothing to talk about. So they're making this legislation, quote unquote, for there to be a debate. Not interested. Let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all are interested in the nonsense that this clown is selling? If you guys are interested in the nonsense that this clown is selling, give me a thumbs up. If you're not, give me a thumbs down.
I can think of nothing more democratic than that. And to those who think that even having this conversation is unfair or wrong, I say it would be wrong not to have it. Because to bend that arc of justice, we have to be willing to talk about the hard things, right? To debate them and argue them. It's all right. We owe it to each other and our fellow New Yorkers to have a candid, good faith conversation. And I don't want to pretend I didn't have some concerns about this. I know many have. Here's what I do know. Anyone thinks that racism and hatred toward blacks no longer exists? Tell that to the families of the 10 victims in the grocery store and Tops at the...
How about tell that to politicians that didn't do shit after that happened? How about that? How about that? How about the fact that you have the ability to write laws in response to that shit to protect people from situations like that occurring again, and you didn't? We don't need to tell them people anything. They the ones that went through it. We're telling you.
Massacre in Buffalo, who once again I'll be staring at empty chairs over their Christmas dinner. And Crystal Peoples-Stokes, our majority leader from the Assembly, who is here, knows this. It's her district, 10 minutes from where I live. Reverend Ale was there. Many of our leaders came up to try and comfort a community. But that empty chair still exists because of white supremacism is alive and well in this country. And we must be the ones who call it out.
And you're one of them. And you're getting a paycheck from them, too. White supremacy is alive and well. And in front of that damn podium, speaking and spewing nonsense and babble. We got to give... we got to give her Cobra Commander again. Nah, we got to give her the white boy who is talking about Buffalo.
Black people have been terrorized. Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots!
Hey, that Cobra Commander clip never gets old, man. What's wrong with Cobra Commander, man? What's wrong with that boy?
Stop it. That's what I'm talking about. And I've spoken about my upbringing in that gritty steel town that I love so much. It shaped who I am. But I cannot turn away from them either. And I think about the immigrants and the children of immigrants.
What the hell that got to do with reparations?
End of slavery.
What the hell? So this what I want y'all to understand this, right? And she kind of telling on herself. The reason why they're doing this reparations thing is because they're going to talk about reparations, and that's all they're going to do. And they're going to pepper it with a little bit of immigrations talk, right? A little bit of immigrations talk. And then what's going to happen is that the immigrants, that's going to get all the focus, all the attention, and all the legislation. And you're just going to have a study that nobody's going to study anything on. That's what they finna do right here. You know what I'm saying? That's what they finna do. Man, if you don't support the migrants,
You ain't black.
Hey, how many people have seen the new BLR merch? We got to self-promote for a second. Have y'all seen the new BLR merch? If you have seen the new BLR merch, give me a thumbs up. If y'all haven't, give me a thumbs down. This reminds me. Have y'all seen it? You should be able to click on it in the chat. Hey, we got our second stream sponsor. Shout out to Black Spider with the $5 super chat. She's been a member for 1 year, 2 months, and 0 days. Shout out to her. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah. New merch. Hold on. I'm finna show y'all real quick so y'all can die laughing. Let me see. Hold on real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Listings. Okay, yeah. Charleston White. Yeah. Let's see. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Hold on real quick. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. All right, so we finna take a quick commercial break. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got another stream sponsor. Shout out to my man Black Free Thinker with the $5 super chat. He says, let's just watch the Democrats continue to shit on their brand. Nah, let's not just watch them. Let's help them. I'm about to help them. Anytime you see somebody in need, you got to always give them a helping hand. You know what I'm saying? And in order to help with that effort, your boy's got new merch. See, we got this stylish Joe Biden. He gonna put y'all back in chains shirt. See it? See that? He gonna put y'all back in chains. This is called the Joe Biden, the Joe smartest president ever line. You know what I'm saying? This is the smartest president ever line of merchandise right here. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think? Oh man, Joe, he gonna put y'all back in chains, Biden. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, so that's the woman's shirt there. Oh yeah, see, like we got this right here. Long sleeve shirt. Look at that. Look at that. Now tell me everybody don't want one of them. Oh man. So we got the undocumented shirts too, though. You know what I'm saying? I had to throw the undocumented shirts up there. You know what I'm saying? The undocumented shirts is gangster though. Got documents. You know what I'm saying? You got any or nah? So yeah, that's the new merch. What y'all think about that? Oh man, idiot! This YouTuber's an idiot. Oh man.
Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots!
Oh man. All right, let's get it.
They will say, we had no involvement in slavery. We came after. Our families, nothing to do with it. None of our relatives were slave owners.
You did have everything to do with it. You're still benefiting from the shit your family stole. You are a beneficiary of criminal activity and a beneficiary of stolen property. Stop saying that you didn't goddamn do anything. If you receive laundered money, if you receive counterfeit money, or if you receive stolen property, you're guilty. Yeah, shout out to Brooklyn Queen. We got Brooklyn Queen to come out of hiding. Oh man. Hey, yeah, that undocumented shirt is hard though. The shirt for undocumented, that bad boy is dope. You know what I'm saying? That bad boy is dope. Y'all know I'm a real humble dude. I don't like to, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to toot my own horn, but you know what I'm saying? When it comes to that undocumented shirt, gotta toot my own horn on that one.
And there's a part of me that worries about leaping into this conversation because of the racial division and strife it could sow. People say, what does this have to do with us in 2023? We abhor slavery. We wouldn't have done that. We opposed Jim Crow in our mind. We studied this. It's wrong. We weren't there when our ancestors weren't
You
there.
were
All this
there.
happened, but
You were there during Jim Crow, and that's what it shows. What it shows is after slavery, you learned nothing. So then you installed Jim Crow, and still to this day, you cheer on innocent black people getting killed by the police. You have shown that you don't learn from a damn thing unless it hurts you. That's what you've shown. These facetious, nonsensical ass arguments. The hell out of here with this bullshit. But the reason why it's important for people to see this is that this is an individual right here who, quote unquote, supposed to be on our side, quote unquote. She's not. None of them are. You know what I'm saying? Who would think that the people that created the benefits that they get from this world is an evil person? No one in their right mind You will never be able to convince these people that anything in the past was wrong because they came out on the good end of it. We need to make our own good end of what we come out of. It doesn't matter how many facts you come with. They will never see anything that was done in the past as wrong because of all of the good that it's created for them. It's like that analogy that I used the one time. You could have somebody that's with their family on a float in the middle of an ocean by a sinking ship. And then you and your family are drowning and all you got is a little life raft. And if you delete that family and get your family onto that life raft and you guys survive, to your family, you're a hero. You made it so that they can live. But to that other family, you're a monster. You will never be able to convince that family that their parent or their father or whoever it was that took that other family out so that you all could live did anything wrong. We'll never be able to convince them that their ancestors did anything wrong because for them, their ancestors didn't. We're collateral damage. It's time for us to start racking up some collateral damage.
But here's what we have to talk about the difference.
Shout out to Vega. What's good with it, Vega?
We're a nation and a state of immigrants who sought out the promise of the American dream. They came here because they wanted to. They thought there were better days that lie ahead by making that journey here. Millions and millions who fled oppression and violence or great poverty from—
She said millions and millions who fled. She said they fled oppression. Did y'all hear that?
countries like Ireland, like my grandparents. They thought there were better days that lie ahead by making that journey here. Millions and millions who fled oppression and violence or
Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots!
great poverty from countries like Ireland, like my grandparents, or Poland, like my husband's parents, and more recently from every corner of the planet, they're finding their way here. These huddled and tired masses came here to seek a better life. They came here to raise their families in safety, to practice their religion freely, to start a small business, get an education. And indeed, our own founding fathers came here for freedom and opportunities.
Huh. And after a lot of massacres, deletions, theft, pillaging, and destruction, I guess one could go as far as to say that they got that. Shout out to T-Lo Brown. What's good with it, bro?
But therein lies the difference. The slaves, people who are enslaved, didn't come here willingly to pursue a dream, but they came in bondage to live a nightmare. And we have to ask, do those of us whose family came here to pursue a dream not have a role to play in ending that nightmare?
What do y'all think about that? If you felt that there was a role that you needed to play in ending the nightmare, there wouldn't be a discussion about it. You would get on the job.
Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. The truth is, we are all held back when millions of our neighbors struggle to lift their families up generation after generation, struggle to give their kids a good education, quality health care that they deserve, struggle while fighting the indignities of racism. Now, if this committee can present a viable path forward to helping the descendants of New York slaves and addressing the harms and disparities that exist in education, that exist in housing, that exist in health care, that exist in the environment, that, my friends, will lift all of us up. It'll strengthen our economy. It'll strengthen our communities. It'll strengthen the bonds that bring us closer together. That's what can happen. And if we can reduce poverty and give people access to good paying jobs and help them lift themselves up, that's what we're talking about.
All right, there we go. It's something about Kathy Hochul, man. Like, she reminds me of like one of those 1950s, like she's like a damn extra off of Casanova or something. Don't you guys think so? She's like one of them extras off of one of those black and white old school movies. Nah, Governor Kathy, what are you gonna do for the blacks? She's like, well, I don't know. I think they've been talking about reparations or something like that. I don't know. I give them a little speech or something. Yeah, sounds good. Just make sure you don't give them any money, Shane. Yeah. Her ass look like she should be like on a damn Dick Tracy movie or something like that. Yeah, facts. Shout out to Jerry Beverly. And she'd be smoking a Virginia Slim too, with a trench coat and a hat on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know, Jerry. I think we'll give him a little bit of placation, with the study or something like that. Yeah, give him a study. Study sounds good, Shane. Yeah, keep him all distracted. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they just smoking in the office. There's a big ass cloud of smoke in the damn office. Like with the trench coat on and the fedora. Facts, exactly. she looked like that. Like every time I see Kathy Hochul, I be like, man, she look like one of them old school, like 1940s, 1950 New York movie actors. Yeah, with the feather scarf. Now, Casanova, I've been waiting for you forever. Hey, Kathy, baby, how you doing? Good to see you, sweetheart. She do got her name should be Tommy Gun Kathy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, shout out to TD Hip Hop Media. TD said, you've been live for like 3 hours. How much I gotta pay you to shut this stream down and go celebrate the white man's Christmas like me? You can pay me as much as you want to, but I ain't about to be celebrating no white man's Christmas. Shout out to TD, you know what I'm saying? What's good with it, bro? Yeah, how much TD gonna pay? I think I might have to do a little extortion racket, Shane. Yeah, I have to pay me some reparations and I'll maybe turn this stream off, you Shane? What do you think, Kathy, baby? Should we turn it off or now? I told you not to fall in love, Spiky. Yeah, she's definitely a godmother. Facts. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, man. So that's all I wanted to show you guys, actually. I don't think there's anything that we need to read in that article because we all already know about the divisiveness and all of that, yada, 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 blah, 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 as far as, reparations go and what they plan on doing. And we all know that this is a false flag. They're not going to do nothing with this. It's just Kathy Hochul trying to get people to calm down and not really worry about how they've been robbed by this whole migrant crisis that they've been handling and not really giving any attention to any of the other communities, especially foundational Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to shout out the stream sponsors. Shout out to Black Free Thinker for the 2 months of membership support. Shout out to Black Spider, not only for the super chat, but for being a member for 1 year and 2 months. Shout out to Black Free Thinker with the 5 ducats. And shout out to TD Media Group with the 5 ducats. And remember, when you're out in the world, always make sure that you do this.
Came from the clouds. Y'all niggas funny. Yeah. I fuck about 1 million, I keep it a trend. Resilient, they energy off. My image is got reaching deep in the pot. I got features of people like lawz. Yeah. RIP on me. TT. The melanin on me, my cheekbone is native. The soil is my where I walk. Some beavers on me, my nigga, go figure. My enemy make enemy scoff. Admit it, your energy off. My frequency killer, you soft. I show people love that act like they above it, but switch when they see me, I'm lost. I tell the truth when I talk. Niggas wanna be me. I used to sleep in the car till my girl went and crashed in car. Now I got a crib down the street. Ay, young niggas made it so far. Ay, I never lose what I'm on. Ay, for now I'm cool being me. Ay, but I need you to match what I'm on. How you wanna play games when I won? Ay, I play with cash for the fun. Women looking at me, she think I'm needing her on. I'm doing me for me, hun. I never needed no one. I never bleed around sharks. They saying you are what you eat, but she wanted me to be lunch. God body from the turf, my hair in the breeze. Bitch, I'm fair, con, keep the peace. I look out for me.
Yeah, fuck about what they say, I can't hear 'em from the clouds. Ay. I don't talk too much, but these diamonds talking loud. Ay. And I'm turning heads, got these bitches going out. Ay. Fuck about what they say, what they say, what they say. Yeah, I can't hear 'em from the clouds. Ay.
Diamond so vibe, always down to slide. I've been real from the jump start, it's just part of my design. I've been self-made, you know the bills paid, I'm finna spark to subscribe. You want a real one, well I'm the real thing, I'm running rampant through a mind. Ayy, yeah, I never lose what I'm on. I'm always cool with being me, they never match what I'm on. I play with cash for the fun. God body from the turf, my hair in the breeze. I'm Farrakhan, keep the peace, I look out for me.
Yeah, fuck about what they say, I can't hear 'em from the clouds. Ay. I don't talk too much, but these diamonds talking loud. Ay. And I'm turning heads, got these bitches going out. Ay. Fuck about what they say, what they say, what they. Fuck about what they say, I can't hear 'em from the clouds. Ay.
I'm way up, nothing less than, and I'ma stay up.
Can't hear 'em from the clouds. Ay.
God, please save him for me.